Hello, good afternoon and welcome to TNTV. You're on to Real Issues. Now, this is during this program we're talking about current issues that are going on in our society and how they affect us. To join me in the studio, I have two guests who I'll be introducing to you right after this break. Stay tuned.
I'm now at Uzumense here in Port Harcourt River State. As you can see, this fire is close to the River State Hospitals Management Board. We've been trying to speak with a lot of residents here to know the cause of this issue, but all of them are declining comments at the moment. Going to the River State Hospitals Management Board, and we also to make sure we are aware what happened here. This popularly caused environmental degradation in River State. Filing this report at about 6:45, and the fire service are not here. It's still burning and causing nuisance and environmental degradation for people around the community. Now they refused to talk to us on camera, but they gave us an exclusive that they called the fire service and other agencies, but have gotten no positive response. And what I'm going to demonstrate now at the moment is what is, you can see how people go around the house to get to their houses, and this is what you're about to see me do at the moment is running through that place, and I'm going to walk in and
Right, if you're just joining us, you're on to Real Issues on TNTV, and the topic we'll be discussing today is the black suit issue that's currently happening in River State, Port Harcourt. And what we just watched is a fire incident that happened, and it is a major cause of the black suit we are currently facing in Port Harcourt. And to join me in the studio, I have two guests in the studio, Ambassador Vincent Bossy. Now, Ambassador Vincent Bossy is a civil society and Niger Delta youth and community development activist, a USAID trained and certified project monitoring and evaluation practitioner. He is also River State Peace Marshal and representative at the Commonwealth Youth Council. Mr. Bossy is also the PRO Ogoni Joint Youth Leaders Council and also the president of Ghana Youth Federation. Thank you very much, Mr. Bossy, and it's nice to have you in our studios.
Thanks for having me.
The next guest I have with me here in the studio is Comrade Iwo Rongbo. Iwo Rongbo is a student leader in River State, is a journalist, and is currently the public relations officer of the River State Union, of the National Union of River State Students. He is also a media publisher and news editor. Thank you very much, Iwo Rongbo, for joining us in the studio. Okay. Today we'll be discussing the black suit issue. We are very much aware of what is going on in the state, in the capital city of our River State, and it is something that started last year and it's been on for quite some time. So we joined today. We expect your comments and contributions here. Wherever you're watching us from, contribute, make comments on our Facebook, and also watch us live on our website www.tntvonline.com. Now, to start off this program this morning, we'll be discussing and I'll be asking my guests few questions. Now, we all know, we are aware of what is happening. We've heard about it, we've seen it, we've experienced it because we all live in Port Harcourt. Now, I will start with you, Ambassador Vincent. What do you think about the black suit?
Yes, thank you very much. I think this black suit that is being experienced around Port Harcourt and its environs is something that is man-made. It is man-made in the sense that it is the activities of man that is giving rise to this situation we are facing now. And there's a whole lot that we can also do as those that have been affected by this to put a stop to it.
Okay, so you said the effect is man-made.
Yes.
All right, I'm going to come back to you on that. I would want to hear from Mr. Iwo Rongbo what he has to say about this thing we are facing in our society.
Well, thank you. what we need to know is that the black suit is not something that just came up today. The black suit is as a result of indiscriminate dumping of waste, indiscriminate pollution into the atmosphere. It is about the degradation activities that is being done by mostly oil multinationals that is operating within River State, especially in the metropolitan city of Port Harcourt. You go to different axes of the city, like the Trans-Amadi area, you go to the Ajip area, part of Port Harcourt, and then of course you also go to probably the Omagwa, the airport axis, and then you see that like the asphalt company that was actually stopped by the River State government. These are the kind of companies. The activities of these companies, they're supposed to have a means of trying to see that they don't send harmful substances into the atmosphere that can, after a process of coagulation or after a process of consternation coming together for depositing in the atmosphere for some time, it then begins to get back to us in the manner in which we are saying, whereby you drop your hand on a surface, let's say the surface of a car, and then your hand gets sooted and all that. The thing is, like he rightly puts it, it is man-made, and it is something that we can put a stop to it before determining. Okay,
thank you very much. We will all agree that this thing is man-made, we know, but do we actually know where this thing is coming from? Because it is man-made, it must have been coming from somewhere. Do we know where the thing is coming from?
Yes, for now, I think precisely on the 10th of February, this very month, the River State government made us understand that they've discovered that this black suit we are experiencing around Port Harcourt and its environs is from the activities of some of these oil companies. We are aware that over the years there has been this issue of flaring of gas and all that, especially in the petrochemical, now it's in Dorama, in the element. Then there's also the activities of those that are involved in burning, indiscriminate burning of tires. You know, these are some of the areas that we are being told for now that could be the possible causes of this black suit we are experiencing around Port Harcourt. Okay,
Mr. Iworongbo, the government has done something about locating these companies and the sources of this black suit. I want to ask you, could it be that the government didn't know about the activities of these companies before the incidents started happening? The government didn't know about them, and
it is easy for you to understand the fact that there was little monitoring of by the environmental unit of the River State Ministry of Environment. There is little monitoring of the activities of these companies. You know, the question we should be asking ourselves is, after there's a lot of industrial work that is going on in Port Harcourt. Now, does the state government have a means of getting to know how where these companies deposit the industrial waste materials that they generate every day?
Okay, wait, sorry, can I cut in? Can you tell us, was the government aware of the activities of these companies before they were allowed?
Aware that, in fact, it should be the government that should give these companies
license
to operate in this state. Okay. So ordinarily they should know. Now the government has a department which is called the Ministry of Environment in River State. It also has the Ministry of Health. I know that they have inspection units within these departments and ministries and parastatals. Now what are they doing to the extent that the citizens have to start crying out? We have to go on radio, we have to go in the newspapers, in the television houses, in the media, before government, and raise the level of outcry that the public raised before the government was able to sit up and then know that this is what is happening within the state. So it means that there is poor supervision. It means that there is poor monitoring of the environment within River State, and that is a negative outlook from the government, especially having an educated person, an academician, a professor for that matter, aiding as commissioner of environment. It means that that ministry is not working. It means that the Ministry of Health is not working. And what should government do? Government at the moment should not just stop at the expense of just saying the asphalt company and the two other companies that are said allegedly to have been the ones behind black suit in the city of Port Harcourt just stop there. They should not stop there. They should take a further step in knowing how can they remediate the environment. Do they need fumigation of the environment to see how that this black suit can be taken care of, so that this thing does not continue? Because whether you like it or not, especially the Alu axis, the area where these companies were cited, the alleged companies were cited, it means that there may be the preponderance of getting cancer. These things can cause cancer of the lungs. Yeah. So what is government doing to see that the people that are there are tested at the moment to see if there is the preponderance of them getting cancer?
Okay, thank you very much. We are also aware of the activities of illegal refineries in Port Harcourt and River State at large. That's another source of this suit.
Sure.
And talking about the illegal refineries, they don't operate in the cities. They operate in the creeks and interior places where it will be very difficult for people to access. Do you think this task force would be that effective to stop the activities of these people?
Yes, if they want to. If the will is there, they can stop it. But you and I know the issue of corruption with public service and how people that have found themselves in position of public trust in this country go about in their operations. Possibly, if these people that are the task force that is so set up to take care of these people that are involved in illegal refineries in the nook and cranny of the state does not have the will, if they are not people that are corrupt free, they can go in there, connive even with these persons that they are supposed to checkmate their activities to further cause us this problem. But if they go in there as humans first and foremost, because the activities of this illegal refinery affects everybody, whether you are a government person or you are an ordinary citizen. Yeah. Now, even those that are sent as members of a particular task force or this task force to go in there, they will not, they too are affected one way or the other, their family members are affected, their communities are affected. And so we are expecting that they should be able to give us a good job. They should be able to go in there and put a stop to the activities of all these illegal refineries that are going on, that is being carried out by youth due to the level of unemployment in the state. Personally, I don't believe that because we are in a situation of excruciating poverty occasioned by lack of job and order, that people should proceed, or that should give anybody the ground to stand on to further cause us more problems. Because the activities of these artisanal refinery people are causing us problems, if you ask me. I don't believe that because we want to live for today, we should destroy our tomorrow, which exactly is what those people are doing. If you go in there to see the areas that these illegal refinery activities are being conducted, the whole area is devastated, and as I tell you, it will take a whole number of years for those areas will be restored back to its original state. And when they carry on like that over time, at the end of the day, we are the ones that will still suffer the result of this. And so, like I said earlier, if the members of this task force see it from a human angle, knowing quite right that the activities of these people operating this illegal refinery are affecting everybody, they can go in there and carry out the duties that they've been so charged to carry out. But again, like I said, corruption is another factor that might hinder the smooth operation of those that have been considered to be members of this task force.
Okay, if you're just joining us, we're still discussing. Right now, we'd like to go on break, and stay tuned while we come back. Thank you.
Nigerians, our fearless officers and men of the Nigerian military are winning the war against Boko Haram. Today, all occupied territories have been recovered and Boko Haram has been degraded. Our affected brothers and sisters are getting their lives back. However, they are now after you and me. In our mosques, churches, schools, motor parks, markets, entertainment centers, and public gatherings. Be vigilant. Be security conscious. Report suspicious persons, objects, and movements to the police and other security agencies. The security of our nation is a duty for you and me. Nigeria unite against terrorism.
This message is brought to you by the Federal Ministry of Information and Culture.
Before we went on break, Mr. Vincent Bussey was saying something, and I would like to ask you again, what do you think should be done to the operators of these illegal refineries?
Okay, what I think that should be done to the operators of this illegal refinery is that first and foremost the government have to display that will that put a final stop to the activities. And of course, if those people have something else to do, I believe that they won't deliberately go all out there to devastate the environment. The government should put a stop to the activities and look for a means to gainfully and meaningfully engage them so they don't go back to that.
What do you think the government should do then?
Well, I slightly disagree with the notion or the idea
that the activities should be stopped.
The activities of artisanal refiners should be stopped. And I have my reasons. My reasons is simple. Now, why in the first place are these persons going into artisanal refining? Who told them that it is possible for them to refine these products? The only product, mind you, that these persons are not able to produce is just the aviation fuel. That is the only product that they don't
Okay,
produce.
so for that reason, the government should...
It means that they had the idea,
yes,
they have the knowledge of how these things is done, but that they are doing it in the manner that it should not be done.
Okay.
So what then do we need to do as a country or as a state? Why don't the National Assembly, through the River State House of Assembly, writing to the National Assembly, mandate, asking the National Assembly to enact a law and make these illegal refineries legal by saying that licenses should be given to people to create a mini refinery. Now, if you gather like 10, 20 of these artisanal refiners together and then they put their resources together, they can actually get at least the level of quantity of petroleum products that can take care of 2, 3, 4, 5 states. Okay. In fact, how many queues do you see in Port Harcourt now? Or buying kerosene, or buying diesel, or buying fuel? Because why? These persons in the creeks are the ones actually bringing the product that is satisfying.
Okay, so
greater part of the state.
Okay.
So it means that instead of us to just foreclose the possibility of these persons being able to be productive to the society and then go and lock them up in one prison, why don't we call these boys together and tell them the way what you're doing is right, however you're doing it in the wrong way. Come, the government is ready to listen to you, talk with you, guide you on how to go about it, and then you are going to succeed at what you wanted to, you intend to do, rather than saying we should go and lock them up somewhere or close down the place. But whether if the activity should be stopped, it should be stopped. However, we should not end at stopping them from artisanal refining in the way and manner they are going about it now. We should bring them, call them, and then sit down with them. The government should sit down with these persons. They should see this as a means of creating jobs for youths.
Okay, so you're saying the government should not stop the activities right now?
They should not stop them from refining. However, they should stop the way and manner they are refining right now.
Okay.
Where do they drop the waste, the industrial waste that they are generating from these refineries? They drop it in our mangroves. They drop it, it flows into the river.
All right,
and then
okay.
It destroys the
they're not going to stop them totally. Now, I want to ask, this thing has been going on for quite some time now, and I think the burden should not be only on the state government. Do you think the federal government, the Ministry of Environment and Health of the federal government has any role to play in this thing?
In fact, I am passing a vote of no confidence on the Federal Minister of Environment.
It's not in your place to do that.
I said I am a citizen of this country.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying, but it's not in your place to do it.
And by virtue of being a citizen of this country, the Federal Minister of Health has the constitutional right to monitor the environment and what goes on in the environment of this country. That up to this moment, the Federal Minister of Environment has not released a press statement on the black soot in River State. It's an indication that they are not working.
So they have a role to play in this thing.
They have a very massive role to play. In fact, if the role is calibrated on a 100 degrees Celsius, then they have about 70 degrees Celsius.
Okay, Mr. Bossy, what do you think? Do they have any role to play? The two federal ministries?
I think the Federal Minister of Environment and the Federal Minister of Health are very two key important ministries that should look into the activities of these illegal refiners, because they have, I believe, that they should have the technical know-how as to the effect of the activities of these illegal refiners on the health of Nigerians. And I also believe that they should also have the capacity to educate those that are involved in these activities the view to, like my brother did say, of bringing them together if need be, for them to be properly trained in the act of refining. So I think the Minister of Health has a very big role to play, as well as the Minister of Environment. The Minister of Health, on its part, I believe they should also embark on sensitizing the people on the dangers involved in these activities as it affects the environment and also as it affects Nigerians. Okay,
in a short sentence, I would like each of you to tell me, or to tell the viewers, what should be the next step. We've been exposed to these things for quite some time now, and almost all of us in Port Harcourt would have some bad effects in our body right now. What should these citizens do?
Well, for me,
as regards their health,
for me, the next step right now is one will detect.
We've got like 20 seconds to
the persons that are actually that have caused this issue. So what we should now do is a step further in getting to test the persons, the citizens that live around the environment of these companies, to really know if there is an earth hazard that this thing must have caused within the moment that we are still trying to find who is actually depleting the environment. That is what the Rivers State government and the Federal Ministry of Health and Environment should focus on right now.
Okay, Mr. Bossing.
I think the state government and the federal government should collaborate and do an environmental audit of Rivers State, not just Port Harcourt. Okay. The environment should be audited and the citizens should be educated. They should be sensitized on the dangers of all of this. We are talking black soot, the activities that cause them, and also look for a way to kind of provide a means of medical checkup. The citizens should have a means to be checked, to know who is affected by what and what measures should be taken for it to be implemented.
Okay, thank you very much. Ladies and gentlemen, our viewers, you've heard it all from our guests in the studio. They're saying the federal government and the Rivers State government should come together to work for the common good of the Rivers people and residents of Port Harcourt. And they're also suggesting that they should look into the health of these people who've been exposed to this hazard. Thank you very much, ladies, young men, for coming on this program. We hope to use this medium to educate and call on our government to do the needful. If you're joining us, this is Real Issues on TNTV, and I'm your host, Awaji, over there. Thank you, and stay tuned, and don't forget to join us every Friday by 2 o'clock for another program. Thank you very much.